Welcome back. In this session we'll talk about flipping the classroom. And no, it's not that kind of flipping. What we mean really is flipping the content, what we actually do in the classroom. So in a typical classroom, there's lecture and students are passive listeners. They may be taking notes, they may be daydreaming, but the teacher's the one working. The one who does the work is the one who does the learning, according to Terry Doyle. So in the flipped classroom, the students do this stuff, the listening, studying, if you will, at home, and then in class, they do much more interactive, team-based, one-on-one with the teacher activities. So why is this done? Well, the idea is we're not looking for somebody who can just study. We're looking for somebody who can learn and do. So we're producing learners, not just independent studiers, book people. And in a flipped classroom, in the classroom, learning is central. It's not about the teaching, being like lecturing and being a great lecturer, but rather someone who works with the students. It fosters independent learning because they learn to learn powerfully at home on their own. And at school, they interact with other students and the teacher, and they collaborate with learning teams. All of this encourages a deeper engagement with the content. Also, it can be more personalized because as the teacher works with individual students and teams, the teacher can better connect the students' needs and interests to the curriculum and content. Well, is this just a nice idea, or is there some research that suggests, hey, this might be a good idea? There's not a lot of research, but Clintondale High School did a little study on a group of teachers who tried flipping the classroom. And in one semester, their very first try doing this, the teachers made 3 5 to 7 minute videos each week for one semester, and the kids watched them at home. Pretty dramatic results. So normally half of the kids fail English, but after one semester of flipping, that was down to only 19%, from 44 down to 13% of math kids failed. And in terms of disciplinary referrals, this is times 10, it went from 736 down to about 250. In each case, the pass rate and the discipline, or rather the failure rate and the discipline, was reduced by about 2/3, by about 60 or 66%. So that's pretty dramatic. So one of the best spokespeople for the flipped classroom is Aaron Sams, the guy on the left, and his colleague John Bergman on the right. They're high school chemistry teachers. And John and Aaron have been doing this since about 2007, and they started by flipping their classroom, meaning they just took a little, they recorded the audio, then video, posted it on the web. Well, it turned out that they've been evolving this over the years. Once they had a year's worth of lessons recorded, then they realized that kids could go through this at their own pace, moving from one to the other after they've demonstrated they've mastered a topic. So that's the flipped mastery approach. Then they realized that, they might be good teachers, have good lessons, but they're not the best lessons in the world for every content. So in addition to the flipped mastery, they identified some inquiry-based learning activities, the POGLE activities for chemistry. And they found that, wow, those are good to include in addition to their videos. They added standards-based grading to have what they thought was a more powerful combination. So they're evolving the model as they gain personal experience. So then they realized, well, they with the addition of some things like subtitling, they can do a universal design for learning, and with some computer-based simulations like the PhET simulations, they can have interactive activities kids can do at home that engages the kids even more deeply. Now they're on their 5th model, which adds to the above, Wolfram Alpha, which is a powerful inquiry-based tool, especially for science. So what they've discovered now is that chemistry used to be all about their teaching, but now the resources for learning on the web are awesome. So they're now training their kids to essentially find their own materials that they like, that connect to what they want to learn. And using tools like this, they personalize the learning so kids can move at their own rate, following their own path. So what do they do at home? Usually they watch short videos, 4 to 10 minutes long, that are on just a single topic. There's high teacher presence, sometimes just a voice, other times a video, but it's their teacher. They can connect to this. It's not something out of a textbook. There are also some special videos like the TED videos and the Khan Academy videos that are easy to incorporate in flipping the classroom from home, and some special activities like the PhET simulations. They're perfect for science, but there are all sorts of others for every discipline. So what do you do in school then? Well, you may start out with questions. Any questions about the video you watched last night? If not, let's take a short quiz, 3 or 5 questions, to see how well you understood that. If there is a clear gap, there might be a short discussion, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that. Or it could be a debate based on what you saw last night, especially in a social studies class. Who'd like to take the position that this was right compared to that's right? That leads into team-based activities, which are in the real world, everybody works as a team. In school, kids need to practice and learn how to do that. Aaron Sams, for example, says he now conducts twice as many labs with his flipped classroom as he used to do before flipping. So what does the teacher do if the teacher's not lecturing? Well, a lot of it is with students, but first they may record videos and curating them so that the kids can access them. They can look for the best material online, so it's not all about them and what they record. Then one of the big tasks is figuring out what are the activities in class. If I'm not talking to the kids, I have to have cool activities for them to do. It doesn't happen automatically. The goal of many classroom flippers is to interact with every student every class period, because they're no longer teaching to a group, they're circulating around to individual students and groups, and that's not practical. When they do that, they can identify gaps in kids' learning and then maybe gather kids together for a mini lesson, or in some other ways address those gaps. And in that way, support personalization. They get to know the kids better, and they can better connect the content to the kids' needs and interests. So how do you do these videos? What are the different ways? Well, the simplest way is just to record the lesson. You aim your computer, speaker, microphone and camera at the class while you're teaching. You click record, and when you're done, you click stop, and you have a video. A lot of teachers use their smartboards because smartboard software allows the recording of what's written on the smartboard, and voice can be recorded as well. That's an easy way to record every lesson. If you're going to do PowerPoints or keynotes anyway, you can narrate those and record them. That's simple. Screen capture, or if you have a tablet capture software, captures those narrated presentations and makes them into a movie. It can also capture anything that appears on the screen, any video you want to capture or part of a video, any instructions on here's how to use this software or this website. And for those who are adventurous, they can create Mookie videos with several engaging components. Well, what do you need to do this? All you need really is a computer which has a camera and a microphone built in. If you have an iPad or an Android tablet, that will work just fine. Next thing to think about is lighting. So you want to look your best. You don't want to look like a shadow. And a desk light or a window can provide the lighting that you need. If you want to do scribing, something like a Wacom tablet or the iPad has a means of scribing also. And if you want to do more sophisticated audio, you can use an external microphone so the mic is higher quality, closer to your voice, and it picks up less ambient noise. That's all the stuff you need in terms of hardware. How about screen capture software? Well, it goes from free to a couple $100. So Screencast-O-Matic is a free website and lots of people use that. Explain Everything for the tablet computer, iPad, and Android is, I believe, about $5. Snaps Pro is what I've used for years. That's for the Macintosh. That's about $60. Camtasia goes from free to expensive depending on which version you have. There's a Windows version that's very, very good. There's a Mac version that I don't think is quite as good. For the Mac now, I use ScreenFlow, which is about $100. If you want to edit the movies, you can bring them into iMovie for the Mac. Or if you want to do fancy editing, Final Cut for Mac or Premiere for Windows are the kind of the professional choices, but they're a couple $100 each. In each case, except for ScreenFlow, the screen capture software allows you to select a region of the screen that you want to capture as a video. So try it, you'll learn how to do it, and it's cool. It shouldn't cost you anything.